Dr. Rafael. You can or say whatever you want.
Thank you. No, okay, I'm really kind of tired. I should reserve my energies for the lecture, but I just want to say thank you to all of you. I think all the presentations have been very good. I want to encourage Citlali because of her English, and that's very good. And I think all the words have been really very good. I have not a specific question to anybody, but I wanted to say that thanks a lot for your effort, and specifically to Citlali because of your English. I would like to encourage everybody to follow this kind of examples.
Okay. Well, if there is no question left, well, we can say that it for this session. And well, we like to thank to all the people that accompany us. So well, stay and please listen to the Dr. Rafael in the next section. Thank you.
Thanks to you. Okay, Gilberto, okay, wow, we have 5 more minutes.
Yes, the Dr. Alan Ponce is the person. He's here.
Oh. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you ready?
Good afternoon.
Are you ready? Set to you.
I don't know if you prefer we can wait till the start time, but I don't know. What do you think, Chair? That's your work.
You can start.
Okay. Well, hi, good afternoon. Welcome to all of you. I will ask you to turn off, please, your microphone and enjoy our next lecture. The title of this presentation is Towards a New Augmented Analytics Based on Fuzzy Predicate, the Transformation of Computational Intelligence, the Study and Role of the Eurekas Community, by Dr. Rafael Alejandro Espin Andrade from the Autonomous University of Coahuila, Mexico. Dr. Espin Andrade is full-time professor of the Institute of Multidisciplinary Research for Innovation, Management, and Entrepreneurial Development at the Accounting and Administration Faculty of the Autonomous University of Coahuila. He is co-president of Eurekas Community, coordinator of the Iberian American International. He's a congresses and international academic programs in Europe and America in the areas of mathematical national and multinational science and academic project, and he has been chair of several international scientific congresses, workshop, and cluster of sessions. So let's welcome Dr. Espin Andrade.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired, really. I was kind of disconnected. Thanks. Okay, can you see the screen, please?
Yes, doctor.
Thank you. Wow, this is the picture I was sharing before. Here you are, 3 mathematicians and philosophers of the last century. They were prominent figures who were dealing with analytic philosophy, and philosophy of science, and philosophy of languages, of language in general. this person were very prominent, and they were talking or dealing and arguing each other about what could be the best way to deal with all this, with analytics, with mathematics, with science, and with language. And analytic philosophy was founded by them, and it was considered kind of a very exclusive thing. These persons were prominent figures of the Vienna and Berlin circles. Okay, those times was considered mathematics and philosophy and analytics like something very exclusive. And okay, these times at least you can think about it with a smile. Then okay, I admire these guys. I remember when I was kind of admired for their works, and it is a beautiful opportunity to give them a kind of homage, but using it as an introduction, because analytics is not that anymore. Data science is everywhere, data is everywhere, and science is everywhere. That will not be an exclusive and elitist activity anymore. One of the pillars of Industry 4.0 is analytics thinking, using data analytics and business analytics. Is one of the most important competences demanded by the so-called Education 4.0, part of the emergent paradigm of the new era, Industry 4.0, the fourth industrial revolution. Then we should deal with analytics. Everybody in this world should be able to deal with it, and with language, and with mathematics, and with science every day in their life, in a very normal way to do. Everybody having certain knowledge should be able to deal with analytics, and things will be changing. It's not about certain people selected. In certain sense, we are returning to the times of the philosophers and mathematicians, because we are going to a new era of open science. Yeah, then the limits, the frontiers between disciplines will be disappearing, like it is happening right now. Okay, let me see. Then data is everywhere. Like you can be illustrated this way, because we are going to this kind of connection, everything connected with the clouds, and a lot of things connected each other, a lot of digital objects, biological objects, people, robots, and so on. But people is really very important, not just robots. Yeah, but the quality of the participation of the people, especially important. And we should be prepared for facing the new era that will be a more democratic and technology democratization. There are a lot of new challenges for using analytics, and it won't be just about getting some insights and information, but to get actively part of the decision making and the implementations of actions for doing concrete things. Okay, I want to show you here the quadrant, the magic quadrant for analytic and business intelligence platforms of Gartner. They are the gurus of the technology. They are ranking the people of the technologies, and well, you can see here, like in 2021, we have that the leaders of these kind of platforms are Click, Tableau, and Microsoft. They have been the last years the leaders most of the time. And okay, there is a kind of thing that Microsoft, we are going far away from Tableau and Click. But all of them are kind of different platforms that other ones try to imitate, and they are using analytics principally for the organization of information to illustrate the problems the users have, the decision makers have. Are evolving to best ways to deal with the visualization and to best ways to use the analytics for organizing in a better way the information. Okay. But okay. I want to say that they are evolving towards augmented analytics. That's just a paradigm that Gartner and a lot of them, all the people leading this market, are agree that that's the future. That's the future of data and analytics. Augmented analytics. Augmented analytics is the tomorrow of business intelligence. They are trying to get it already. But what's that? Okay. We'll be talking about it. Yeah? I won't say immediately. These leaders is trying to go towards it, and we should do the same, using our own ways to do, because and what to share with you is how I'm talking about a collective that is thinking what's the best way to transform soft computing and computational intelligence, and specifically how to work with Eurekas towards this information and the way to be successful in this new era of data and business analytics. Okay, this is the name of the talking, Transdisciplinary Scientific Strategy for Subcomputing towards an era of data and business analytics, history and role of Eurekas community. Okay, these are the things we will talk about. Yeah, I'll begin talking a little about Eurekas community. You can see here the reference of the paper that is containing the most important things about this lecture I will share with you today. This is a paper of our special issue computing theories and applications in the journal Actions. Well, here you are the paper, and please, I would like a lot to receive any comments about it. Let's talk a little about Eurekas community. Okay. Okay, when we began with the work with Eurekas community in 2008, we had this kind of characterization of the situation of business analytic and business intelligence systems. We had a kind of lack and misuse of business intelligence systems that was characterized by access doors for disciplinary modules there are different scientific neighborhoods dealing with different things about it. For example, the querying and by data warehouses and visualization was the way for working, for example, for the people for computer science dealing principally with data warehouses. And the people from management were dealing with strategic analysis and balanced Quacar point of views, and where all the platform had data mining toolboxes, but they were used most of the time by the people from computer science and mathematicians, and the decision support systems were not integrated. They are not integrated to the rest of tools of analytics, even when they are really very important. Because, okay, I would like to say that those systems I was talking about at the beginning, the leaders of the market of business analytics, have a very sophisticated way to deal with supporting to decision making, but just making visualization, a very good organization of the data, but not in the way that decision support systems are used to support for decision making. And this kind of things should be added. The technology of business analytics should be including that point of view, and you will see that is very much important for achieving the paradigm of augmented analytics. Well, from 2014 and before, some systems were organized toward decision making about this kind of information presentation using specific analysis techniques like Power Business, Tableau, Click, and SoapSpot. Well, that time, okay, and now the principal objective of Eurekas community were the following two: contribute to the creation of a new transdisciplinary technology for business intelligence, joining knowledge discovery, knowledge management, and decision making, and of course, to try to get that, it is necessary, the following objective: developing transdisciplinary theories and practical solutions and strategies towards modeling different intellectual activities, studied from rational thinking like evaluation, estimation, reasoning, learning, knowledge discovery, and decision making, by mixing rationally different disciplines into the computational intelligence, operation research, and other mathematics and computer science fields. Okay, the Eurekas community is formed by three networks: Eureka Iberoamerica, Eureka SD was an important project of the European Union, which finished in 2017. But Eureka International is the wider network, founded in 2014, and it was the principal strategy of sustainability of Eureka SD that was really very successful. It's the international network of transdisciplinary science that is the essence of our function. And okay, we are a very open community, but I think that our most important components or influence are coming from operation research and computational intelligence. That's because they are open and multicultural spaces, very much characterized because of evolutionary and bias-inspired algorithms and hybridization. That's why we have been working with what we have called general hybridization and theoretical hybridization, formally and experimentally justified by transdisciplinary mathematical theories. We talk about it during our lecture. During our history, we made a lot of congresses, very, very good opportunities, evolving in the time according to the situation of our groups and according to the situation of the world, even now, when we were introducing a lot of virtual elements into our conference, till this last one, completely virtual, that have been, I would say, a beautiful success we are enjoying together. Okay, this is the last one we are building right now. And we have been working with different publications together, joint papers, joint books, and let's say joint special issues. And we are dealing with 3 of them now in 2021. Well, we finished the book. I want to thank Gilberto, that had a very important role in the materialization of that plan of book. And we have 3 other special issues. A second special issue of actions about theory and applications 2, and 2 other special issue calls this year. That they has been informed through our website. Okay, then these are the transdisciplinary objectives of the Eurekas community we have from the very beginning, but we should continue because the things have been evolving, but these objectives are really very good for the time we are working with. And this is a principal strategy of Eurekas community towards analytics and towards this objective. It's about transdisciplinary data analytics based on wide knowledge discovery. We'll return with this strategy that is really very important. This is the most important. This is the master strategy we have been working with, and this is the master strategy we are proposing through this paper for the transformation of computational intelligence. What is wide knowledge discovery? It's a transdisciplinary way to define and understand knowledge discovery, including the narrow sense of knowledge discovery, the one very much connected or completely connected to knowledge discovery, to data mining, and knowledge engineering and decision analysis based on general and theoretical hybridization. All those things are part of this called wide knowledge discovery. We are talking about dealing with a discovery of knowledge using all the searches and all the ways, not just data mining, but even the human searches. And we need to deal with different processes. The decision-making process, usually in data mining, for example, but at the same time, the decision analysis made by an analyst of the decision with the decision makers, and at the same time, the knowledge engineering that used to be taking place between knowledge engineers and experts. And okay, what's augmented analytics paradigm that is emerging? Let's talk about it. Augmented intelligence and augmented analytics are what I will be reading here because it is important to work with it. It's a computer. Okay, augmented intelligence is a new concept evolving from artificial intelligence. Is computer enhancement of human intelligence and human capabilities for problem solving and decision making has been called augmented intelligence, and more recently as hybrid augmented intelligence. The later explicit emphasize the 2 elements of or strategy of this enhancement. The first one, using artificial intelligence for search automatization and natural language communication from one side. And second, embedding a connected model into the machine learning system, looking for a very good communication. Then augmented analytics is the use of augmented intelligence that is not just substituting the human being by computer. No. It's using all that together for empowering men, for empowering human beings, for empowering us as collective in charge of problem solving and decision making. Then I want to emphasize a kind of different matter that the one was very much emphasized by my friend Jesus Velasquez. I want to talk about the processes we should deal with and the participation of human being. The computer will be and the robots will be enhancing, empowering the people. And we should be prepared for having the new quality we should take in the new times. Well, then that means that we should be able to deal with more data orientation to decision-making tools. Well, we should develop more data orientation to decision-making tools, and we should achieve a better participation of expert and decision maker in the analytic process by the suggestion of hypotheses, concepts, and decision-making alternatives. That is not achieved for the leaders of the markets of business intelligence and business analytics platforms. Well, here is data science is this intersection of different domains, the expertise domain, the computer science and mathematics spaces, and it is really something very important to be developed. And this you can see here is the best, maybe the best illustration of what augmented intelligence is. We should be a collective brain together. The tools will be connected with people. It's a kind of new moment of the interaction. Some time ago, we had an important interaction between screens or computers, but this is a new era of processes, and analytics is in the center of everything. Data is in the center of everything, but we should be making intelligent decision making, but very much in a way very systemical, in the way that is illustrated by this image. Then okay, let's say the spirits and the intelligence, rigorosity, the elegance of guys like this, but we can be to the high of them. But analytics is now for everybody. But we should get this stature for everybody, for the new human beings. We should do it. We have to do it. We might do it. Then okay, let's deal with SWOT analysis of computational intelligence towards data and business analytics. It's the kind of analysis we made of our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The strengths considered by us is recognition of fuzzy logic as the science of vagueness. The second one is the growing role of mathematical fuzzy logic. The third one is advances towards interpretability of language. The fourth one, graphical interpretability by trees, graph, and networks. And the five is the important The first one is special because, okay, it is interesting because fuzzy logic is not used. It's not accepted by natural language treatment, but it is accepted like the science of vagueness. And this concept of vagueness is very rich, very important, and should be used. And okay, this matter of the growing role of mathematical fuzzy logic is very important because it was a kind of denying of the more usual mathematical way to deal to new ways to deal from engineering and data experiments. And that was really very, but we should return to mathematics. Yes, we should go there, and this mathematical fuzzy logic important role in fuzzy logic and in soft computing is really very important. Okay. The witnesses are principally non-appreciable results in natural language treatment from fuzzy set and fuzzy logic. It is not accepted. It is not used. We have not been successful about it. And at the same time, a fuzzy control deviation towards adjustment techniques. Those are result of limitation of Mondani fuzzy systems approach. Okay, the fuzzy control was a kind of boom. It was synonym of intelligent in certain moment, and the results were really extraordinary. But okay, these results using language were not so promiseful, and it was necessary. Or most of the engineers were looking for kind of new techniques, abandoning in certain sense the interpretability using natural language. Then we should go towards more mathematician point of view. Well, no mathematician in the sense of the people. No, a lot of more presence of mathematics, more theoretical and formally approaches of research. Well, these are very important things about it. And we should go to meet mathematical logic, the one which was developed by these guys, Fresh, Russell, Bud Wittgenstein, and other ones. I would like to mention Carnap, the extraordinary guy that developed a kind of pluralist thinking about philosophy and science, which should continue now in science and technology. System of universal transformation generative grammar, a consensual scientific linguistic model. Well, this matter of transdisciplinary science, this space of open science, denying these frontiers and getting for new science together with different disciplines. This kind of new scientific and logical pluralism is beginning to be used. It's an opportunity to get a new analytic from the use of computational intelligence. Of course, deep learning is part of computational intelligence as well, but the principal problem is what it is called here a lack of interpretability of deep learning. And this should be solved, to be used using hybridization into computational intelligence. And okay, this matter of the existence of universal transformational generative grammar created by Chomsky and Okay, he and their collaborators have created a consensual scientific linguistic model that could be used in a transdisciplinary way towards better results. And okay, finally, a threat that is the deep learning extraordinary accuracy results. Okay, then we should deal with other ways to do, like these evolutionary ways to deal and fuzzy logic, but not as enemies. No, as collaboration between methods. It's a kind of dialogue, the dialogue that Jesus was talking about. We should get interpretative deep learning using fuzzy predicates. That could be the analytics of the future. Then, okay, the opportunity associated with the acceptance of transdisciplinary science and scientific logical pluralism can be better used considering the following strengths and weaknesses: the growing role of mathematical fuzzy logic, the graphical interface of fuzzy logic, the development of evolutionary algorithms, and the fuzzy control deviation. All those properties of self-computing are associated with improvement possible and necessary by hybridization. The opportunity lack of general cognitive model should consider the strengths and weaknesses, well, the following ones: science of vagueness acceptation for fuzzy disciplines, advance toward natural language interpretability, and non-appreciable results in natural language treatment from fuzzy logic. They are all related to the natural language use improvement by fuzzy logic. The opportunity lack of interpretability of deep learning should take into account the following strengths and weaknesses: science of vagueness acceptation for fuzzy disciplines, advance toward natural language interpretability, graphical interpretability of fuzzy logic, and non-appreciable results in natural language treatment from fuzzy logic. All those are related to the interpretability of fuzzy logic. And finally, the science of vagueness acceptation for fuzzy disciplines, the advances towards natural language interpretability, and the non-appreciable results in natural language treatment from fuzzy logic are all related to the natural language interpretability improvement by fuzzy logic, and this is the way to use the opportunity universal transformative grammar to consider universal transformative grammar. The opportunity we are talking about. The threat, deep learning extraordinary accuracy results to consider the following strengths and weaknesses: the growing role of mathematical fuzzy logic, the graphical interpretability of fuzzy logic, and the development of evolutionary algorithms and fuzzy control deviation. All those properties of self-computing are associated with improvement possible and necessary by hybridization. Take them into account that everything should be dealing with interpretability and hybridization. Yeah, and it is very logical. We should get interpretable results. We should get, of course, better accuracy. But that accuracy of fuzzy predicates and fuzzy models should be made in hybridization with deep learning, because they are getting the best results. But at the same time, we need interpretability. And we want it, and we want as well, because this is what the analytics paradigm is asking us to deal with language towards hypothesis, better hypothesis, and better competencies in problem solving and decision making. We are needing the active participation of experts and decision makers. Then we need to use the language interpretation, and we need to use the accuracy of we need to get accuracy from hybridization, and we need to continue working with interpretability. Okay, those are the principal consequences of our analysis as a strategic analysis. And then I want to show you what are the principal scientific strategies we are proposing. This time towards why knowledge discovery, that is the principal one. As we told before, the why knowledge discovery is a combination of knowledge discovery using data and decision analysis and knowledge engineering, and we should deal with all the sources and all the ways to work together. That's why knowledge discovery. How we can do that? Well, we are proposing to work with the following strategies. Toward why knowledge discovery, we propose to achieve it through why knowledge discovery using fuzzy predicates. And okay, we have already 3 important results coming from theoretical hybridization, general hybridization, and knowledge discovery by knowledge engineering. Those are compensatory fuzzy logic, Archimedean compensatory fuzzy logic, and computational, comparative game theory through knowledge engineering. And this is the way, the principal scheme of the interaction of the strategies we are proposing. What is theoretical hybridization? It's the creation and use of transdisciplinary theories and models looking for the desirable theoretical properties of hybrid objects. Theoretical hybridization make emphasis on the use of theoretical consideration coming from any mathematical or computing science theory to look for a usable hybrid system, which can give new opportunities towards transdisciplinary approaches. Some examples are compensatory fuzzy logic and Archimedean compensatory fuzzy logic. Compensatory fuzzy logic is a transdisciplinary theory of fuzzy multivalent logic system holding actions inspired from Boolean logic, statistics, as well as decision-making theories and methods. The action which give it the name is precisely the compensatory character of the conjunction. It is interpretable according to natural language using a new transdisciplinary concept that defines it as interpretability or compatibility with the most important mathematical theories used to deal with social practice with natural language. That's really very important. We are dealing with a new concept of interpretability coming from the principal theories very much involved in the social practices dealing with natural language. And well, it can deal with a wide spectrum of usual fuzzy logic problems treated by different fuzzy approaches, has been used in very different real application case studies. That's what compensatory fuzzy logic can do. And well, this is an illustration of what compensatory fuzzy logic is. We have a group of 4 operators, and these are the actions of these operators. The principal one is the compensation action. And then you can see the rest of the action. This is an illustration of a family of operators called geometric mean-based compensatory logic. You can see the geometric mean as an example, and the dual of the geometric mean and some implication could be considered using them. Archimedean compensatory fuzzy logic is another transdisciplinary and pluralist theory that joins a logic of non-refutation, the Archimedean norm and column theory, and an information one, the compensatory fuzzy logic. It can deal with 4 different approaches by quantification with the 2 theories: non-refutation value of possibility, non-refutation value of necessity, affirmation value of possibility, and affirmation value of necessity. All the importance is that we have two different logics. The Archimedean fuzzy logic is a norm and control system that is Archimedean. This is having the property you can see in the first line, that is the opposite of idempotency. Yeah, the conjunction is always less than the this time x, the value that is repeated. The Archimedean compensatory fuzzy logic is a set of 6 operators using the compensatory operators and the Archimedean operators. Okay, an important property is that they are associated to the same function f, the generator f, dealing with the correspondent norms and the correspondent Archimedean, the correspondent pseudo mean this kind of operators that we are working with, that I used to work with pseudo arithmetic means, as you can see in the properties you see in the last line. Okay, that defines the compatibility of CFL logic system with an Archimedean norm and control system, and prove they have the same ordinal behavior. The treatment of modifier and membership functions like sigmoid functions and continued linguistic variables have been treated as generalization useful for knowledge discovery. And that allows to get by parameter searching contextual logics useful for each knowledge discovery problem. When we are talking about pluralism, we can get a logic for each kind of knowledge, for each database, for each structure. That was giving us the opportunity to go to compensatory fuzzy logic and Archimedean compensatory fuzzy logic, really in interaction with general hybridization. The general hybridization is Y hybridization using any possible use approach, not just the one accepted by computational intelligence or short computing. It's a general hybridization that extends the classical way of in the time margins of soft computing or computational intelligence towards any mathematical or computer science method. The protagonist of fuzzy hybridization and the growing role of narrow fuzzy logic in soft computing will make feasible the combination with mathematical theories with a high formalization level. Some examples are the definition of universal proposition or Cartesian product of intervals, CFL, or the generalization of sigmoidal function in the context of Archimedean compensatory fuzzy logic. Then, well, you can see that again. Here you are illustration of them. We are defining, here you have the illustration of how we define the universal and the citation proposition in discrete cases, and the path to the continuous sets using, well, the integral calculus, specifically the value, the theorem of median value. Another important example is the generalization of sigmoidal function. We define a new function that is a secondary generator function of an Archimedean compensatory fuzzy logic, and using them, we are able to make a generalization of the same model function you can see here, and that allow us to test that the differential equation that is giving to the same model function the name of F4 function is possible to be generalized this way. Then Then the most important thing is that we are dealing with transdisciplinary data analytics based on knowledge discovery by fuzzy predicates using these two strategies we were talking about: theoretical hybridization and general hybridization. And the other more important strategy is the wide knowledge discovery by fuzzy predicates. This is how to achieve wide knowledge discovery. Well, using the approach by fuzzy predicates. This is dealing with the following way to do. It is a strategy to get wide knowledge discovery, the use of hybrid knowledge discovery models using fuzzy predicates and formal representation, CFL and CFL as ways of evaluation, and any evolutionary heuristic or optimization method of methods of word searching. The recognition of fuzzy sets and fuzzy discipline as sign of vagueness, their graphical interpretability, as well as the advances in natural language interpretability, especially the ones of CFL and ACFL, are the reason for the recommendation of knowledge discovery by fuzzy predicates as a concrete strategy of balancing towards wide knowledge discovery. Well, some example of results dealing with this strategy of wide knowledge discovery by fuzzy predicates are the result with image and signals treatment, as well as compensatory morphology. There were some results presented during the workshop, like the ones presented by the people from Mar del Plata and Gustavo Mechino, who offered us his lecture. I was talking about Juan Ignacio Pastore before. Then